Welcome to New Life Live with Stephen Arterburn. For 35 years, New Life has been transforming lives one at a time thanks to the giving hearts of you, our listeners. Our goal is to provide you with wisdom from God's Word to give you hope and help in life's hardest places. If you have a question you'd like to ask today, our phone lines are open. Call 1-800-229-3000. That number again is 1-800-229-3000. Now here's today's host, Chris Williams.
Welcome, and as Terry just announced, I'm hosting Chris Williams here, and I have with me Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris.
Hi, Chris.
How's it going?
Hello, everybody. It's good.
And Dr. Alice Benton.
Lucky me. I get to be back with you two again.
I know. This is so much fun. I love hanging out with you guys. I learn so much every time, and so I'm not going to waste any time. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
Ready, set, go. Let's go to the phones. All right. Let's go to Maggie listening in Denver, Colorado. And listen, guys, she's listening on her Alexa. That's a new one for me. I love it. I don't even know how she's pulling that off, but that's awesome. You can listen on Alexa. Maggie, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Awesome. Well, tell us what's going on today.
Well, thank you for taking my call. I have been exclusively dating the same wonderful Christian man for about 6 years now.
Mm-hmm.
We get along beautifully in every area. We've decided not to marry. We're an older couple, and we live in very close proximity, so we can see each other anytime we want. We attend church, take care of our neighbors. It sounds like everything's perfect. The only thing is, he has had a friend for over 20 years that he made when he was very young, and she's a female.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk at least once or more times every single day.
Uh-huh.
It drives me crazy. I don't understand. He has me to talk to, but I mean, that probably sounds silly, but I just don't understand why they haven't let that go. I don't care if it has been over 20 years and they were dear friends and supposedly not sexual.
Okay. So what I hear, let me rephrase this. What I hear from you is that you are exclusively dating him, but he's probably not exclusively dating you.
And I would have to disagree with that because,
okay,
like I said, we live in close proximity.
Hold on. So Maggie, I'm going to jump in because I want to wrestle this. Okay, will you wrestle with me for a moment? I want to bring up the word intimacy. Intimacy is our experience of knowing another person and being known by another person.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I like that.
All right. So yeah, he has an intimate relationship with this other person. That sounds like a fact.
That's why it drives you crazy. It doesn't mean that he is calling her his girlfriend, but they are very close. They spend a lot of time together talking. They have maybe a lot of things in common. He really enjoys spending time with her and talking with her. She enjoys spending time with him and talking with him. They may just not say that, they're romantically, intimately connected, but it is an intimate relationship. I would have to agree with Chris.
So I want you to be thinking about over the break, what is it that you want from him, even if it seems obvious? Do you need the end of that friendship? Do you need to be included in that friendship? Think about that, and you'll let us know when we come back.
So Maggie, as you hear the music, we'll be back right after the break, but I just want to let everyone out there know that the Emotional Freedom Workshop is coming up very, very quickly. December 2nd, it's going to be online. If there are patterns in your life, certain feelings or relationships or behaviors that you are stuck in, or maybe it's a loss that's been lingering that you can't get over, join us in the Emotional Freedom Workshop. We will help guide you through that. It's a powerful experience. It's online December 2nd, and we'll be back right after this.
For most of my life, I've been dealing with an opiate addiction.
Why is opioid addiction quickly becoming one of our nation's biggest killers? Maybe it's because it isn't only those who are addicted who are in denial.
We did what I see so many parents do, is it can't be an addiction. There's something medically wrong.
It's impossible to solve a problem when you don't know what you're up against, and families will try to find any explanation except the one that will put them on the right path.
Alcoholism and drug addiction is a family disease. It doesn't affect just the individual.
If someone you love is abusing painkillers, know what you're up against. It's time to admit it's addiction and seek treatment. Call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We have Christ-centered partner treatment centers around the country. Call 1-800-639-5433 or visit us online at newlife.com.
We just made a decision. We will do whatever it takes.
1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. We're talking to Maggie in Denver, listening on Alexa. Hey, the more you know, right? I just found out that if you have an Alexa and you want to listen to us, all you have to say is, Alexa, play New Life Live. And it happens. So it's this really, really remarkable thing. Technology, wow. Sometimes it's really helpful.
Maggie, you taught us that. So thank
yes.
you.
So you brought that to my world, Maggie. Thank you so much. So Maggie, we were talking a little bit about this idea of, and not the idea, really the experience of being in this exclusive relationship, but him being very close, incredibly close with another female. Alice, you asked the questions. Remind us what those questions were.
Maggie, what do you need from him? Is your hope and expectation, even if it doesn't feel like it's reality, that he would end that relationship with her? Or do you hope that you'd be included? It would become a friendship that you're part of with her? Or maybe something else? What do you need from him?
Well, first let me say, when we first met, that's why this seems so open and sorta innocent, is because 6 months after we were dating, it was Christmas, and he was going to meet her for a cup of coffee, and he said, come go with me. I want you to meet her. You'll like her. And you know what? I call it resentment, but maybe it's downright jealousy. But I just feel, I mean, the minute we met, it was sparks from both of us. So that didn't work out, and poor guy, he was like, gee, I tried to bring you into my circle, and you two, I thought we were going to have to separate you. Yes, of course, I'd give anything if he would give this relationship up. Put big boundaries on it would help. I mean, occasional, every 6 months or so, how are you? But I've asked him. I've asked him that. I've told him how unreasonable I feel that he's being, but he just sees me as trying to control him, and destroy a 20-some-year, obviously wonderful relationship.
So Maggie, let me ask a follow-up question to that. If his relationship with this other woman doesn't change, let's go with that, okay? He's telling you very, very clearly, I'm not going to do anything about this. Does this relationship work for you?
Not well, because it's always on my mind.
Maggie, it would tear me up too. And we say to couples that we work with, same-sex relationships that are kept in isolation from your romantic relationship where you're excluded, it doesn't tend to work well for most people long-term. So I empathize with your feelings. It would not sit well with my heart to be part of this.
Mine either, and I'm probably more flexible than most as a recovering emotional avoider. But you said he talks to her a couple of times a day. You said he has you to talk to. Does he talk to you a couple of times a day?
Oh, yes. And, we either talk 5 or 6 times a day or we're together.
Okay. Has he complained to you about the way that you feel about the relationship?
I don't know if you I guess you would call it complained. Yes, right now we're in a ditch again over it, and I swear this guy really thinks I'm being unreasonable.
Yeah, and Maggie, I think he does think that you're being unreasonable. But I think you need to reason with yourself. You want an exclusive relationship. He is unwilling to give that to you. Yeah. And he is what I consider a love collector. A love collector is a guy or a person, it could be a guy or a gal, that can't get enough. They're trying to fill an empty hole in them, and they will either be a boy collector or a girl collector. And it really is kind of like this adolescent way of going at things. And so the fact that you're uncomfortable and you need an exclusive relationship with him, let's get clear on this. He cannot give that to you. He's made that clear. And so then the onus comes back on you. What now do I need to do? I have to ask myself, if this doesn't change, I got to get out of a fantasy land and into reality. If this doesn't change, as it's already showing me after 6 years, it will not change. Now what do I do? What do I need?
Yes, can you live in this relationship without continued conflict about the issue of this friend, knowing that he's still hanging out with her and talking to her a couple of times a day? Because really, that's what it comes down to, because the only thing you have the power to change is you. Mm-hmm. So you get to decide, there's enough good in this relationship that I'm not willing to give up so that he can just spend more time with her. Or as much as I enjoy this relationship and as good as we are together, his unwillingness to sever this relationship, or at least put some big boundaries, as you said, around it, say a lot to me about how he feels about his relationship with me.
Yeah.
And a third option, Maggie, because you can accept it and choose every day, I'm just going to trust him. I'm going to go with this. My heart is against it, but I'm going to go with it. You can end the relationship because he's not going to change. You can also ask him, I can't quite get over this, and I want to figure out if I can accept it. Can we go in to get a third party to help both of us to at least be able to talk about it better, so I can see, can my heart surrender to this as it is? Because I'm struggling every day with it. And see if he'll take you up on that.
Well, I really have talked to someone at church about it and told him so, and he says, I don't care what anybody else says.
Okay, so Maggie, you're telling us the same thing over and over. This is why I'm reflecting it back to you. He is committed to not changing this behavior. He is committed to not altering the relationship with this other woman. It puts you in a tough position, but I want you to ask yourself the honest question, even though the answer can be painful. Does this work for me? And I hope you learn this line that I think is really, really important for all of us. That doesn't work for me.
But you have to tell it to yourself.
Yes.
Oftentimes when we're thinking about getting our needs met, we're looking outside of ourselves. You have to be the first one to meet your needs. So sit, figure out how you feel and what you need, and can you give it to you? Mm-hmm. And that might be respect for your heart.
Yeah. So Maggie, here's what we're going to do. We're going to send you a copy of Henry Cloud's latest book, Trust, because this is going to really show you that which is trustworthy and that which is untrustworthy. And so that because our hearts, our interior world, and our close relationships are all predicated on trust. And when we have trust in our lives, man, does it make a huge difference. So speaking of this book, Trust, if you give any amount here in November, we're almost to the end of the month, do not miss out on this book. Henry Cloud's latest is a gem. It's been so important in my own life. I've had conversations in my own business, in my own company that I've been able to have as a result of this. It has raised the level for everyone. Obviously, in my marriage, there's not an area of life where this book can't positively impact you. Give any amount, support us as we support others through this ministry, and you will, in the month of November, you can go online, www.newlife.com. And you can contribute there. You can contribute through our app, but any amount, and we will send you this book, Trust. We're going to go back to the phones, and we're going to go to Lance listening in Honolulu, Hawaii on YouTube. So all the way from the islands. Lance, are you there?
Yes, aloha.
Aloha! Yeah! You just brought a smile to our faces.
Hey, good afternoon from the early morning.
Yes, and so now that we get to talk to you, you're part of a New Life. So now we're all New Life Ohana, right?
Yeah, you got it.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
I love it.
Well, let's take care of some family business. What's going on today?
Well, okay. I've lost two people whom I really love so dearly. Last year, I lost my girlfriend, and she was in the hospital for about a year and a half.
Wow.
And it appeared that she was getting better. She had sepsis.
Whoa!
And she finally passed away. And then this year, my mom just passed away. She had a massive stroke, 83 years old. But the common denominator here is that they're both Christians. So I know, and this is the thing that has been keeping me from drowning completely, is that they're both in a better place.
Yeah.
Far better place.
Yeah.
And so my question to you all is, is it even possible? Because these two people who I lost, there's a lot of good memories. And a lot of good memories built on them. And now that they're gone, it seems like life has changed so much.
Yeah.
And it seems like I have to work harder to rebuild good memories.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, is it even possible?
No, that's a great question, Lance. I'm going to start with something before I turn it over to these amazing women who are going to help you tremendously. I want you to hold out your right hand, Lance. Just hold it palm up, okay? In your right hand is all of the wonderfulness, the amazement that you had with these two really, really important women in your life. These people who brought so much life and vitality and goodness and love to you. Okay, I want you to hold that in your right hand. Got it? Okay, I want you to hold out your left hand, palm up. That there, my friend.
I'm holding the phone in one hand.
Oh, well, okay. Yes. So, okay. So, but in your left hand is the pain of the loss. Is the pain of their absence.
Yes.
Both are true.
Got you.
Both are true. Both are true. And then the question becomes, what does my left hand now need?
Say that again. That last part.
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
What does my left hand now need?
How do we deal with the pain? The pain of that loss. And you said things are so much harder now. You have to work hard to make new memories. And that makes sense because you had them helping you do that before. And now it's just you.
Yeah.
Is it possible? Absolutely. I know sometimes we want the pain to go away and we think that healing is no longer feeling the big feelings. I disagree with that. I think that part of the healing process is allowing yourself to experience all of the range of emotions. The depth of your emotion and the pain of the loss it just shows how much you knew and loved these women, and what a great loss it is to have them not be in your life, even though you can have joy for them and be excited for them that they're in heaven and they're not in pain anymore and they're not suffering and struggling, but you still are sad and you still miss them. And you can make new memories while also holding who they are in your life. So there doesn't have to be a getting stuck. You can still move forward.
And Lance, when you said that it's just your knowledge that they're Christian that's keeping you from drowning completely, there's so much more that we can help add to the grief period, because the passage of time alone doesn't heal the loss of these women. But there are other ingredients that you can add in addition to your faith, and it's mainly allowing other good people to come around you that will bolster you and give you a stronger life preserver, even get you onto a raft so you don't feel like you're just barely keeping your head above water. There's more to the process than that.
Yeah. So, Lance, and we're going to help you right after the break, give you some direction on where to go with what Alice was talking about, get the support that you need to walk through that grief. So, Lance, hang on the line. We'll be back right after this. And, thank you for being with us.
Before coming to this weekend, I have been dealing with the guilt and shame of an abortion that I had 20 years ago. And we have 3 awesome kids. But every time I kept getting close to the Lord, kids saying to me, "You're the best mom." That voice in the back said, "You're a horrible mother. Look what you did to that child. You killed somebody. You don't deserve any of this, and you're not worthy." To help free me from my guilt and see that I would not make the same decision today, I would make a different decision, and I am a great mom, and God can use me.
This is Steve Arterburn, and this is the story of a new life. After 20 years of guilt and shame, she attended a workshop and now is free. You can be part of offering hope to others as you step out in faith by donating to New Life Ministries.
To make your tax-deductible gift, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or visit newlife.com and click Donate.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found life recovery, and one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. We're talking with Lance, and Lance has just experienced just heartbreak after heartbreak in losing both his girlfriend and his mom in the past year. And Alice, you had some direction for him.
Well, Lance, the world has some lies for us about the grief process. It tells us that time heals all wounds. We believe, many of us, that we're not supposed to cry. We're supposed to tough it out. We're supposed to act stronger than we're really feeling on the inside. But God's truth tells us that this is the time to purposefully lament. And to do so, not in solitude, not even just with God, but rather to let people in. And as you're doing on this call with us, to start telling the stories of these 2 amazing women and to tell about how much it has hurt to lose them and that prolonged period of loss and that long illness and hospitalization. And we have the Life Recovery Workbook for Grief. And so we want you, Lance, to combine that with allowing trustworthy people to come in to hear your story. And we can connect you with a coach, with a counselor, or even with a New Life Recovery group to be able to do that.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. And Lance, I want you to look up something in your area. See if one of the local churches have what's called a Grief Share program. And Grief Share is just this great group that intentionally walks you through the process as you're doing that with other people. Because our losses require care. And to Alice's point, that care just isn't the self-care or the God care, and both of those are really important, but it will always be incomplete without the care of others. Yeah. So Lance,
Sounds good.
Yeah, all right. Well,
Yes.
Thank you so much for calling in today. We're so glad that you're with us. So glad that you're a listener, and so glad that I met a new Ohana from Hawaii. So thank you, Lance. We're going to go back to the phones, and we are going to go to, where is it? Oh, there she is. Janice in Williamstown, Pennsylvania, listening to us on Sirius XM. Janice, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right. Talk to us. What's going on today?
Well, I've been in clinical therapy for 20 years for bipolar and post-traumatic stress disorder. And as I explained earlier, I just have like this, I call it a curse of memories, but I lost so many people. Our daughter died a week shy of 9 months old from sudden infant death syndrome.
Oh, my goodness.
2 months prior to that, the best man in our wedding died of alcohol intoxication. And the whole religious stuff, arguments I've had with my father over born again. And so, I get the whole clinical stuff, but it wasn't until just recently this year that I attended my first grief share program at my local church.
One we were just talking about, right?
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
And my husband and I, we left the Catholic Church because they wouldn't let us have our daughter's funeral in the sanctuary because they didn't have any financial records of our giving.
Oof.
So we had to have it in the funeral home. I pleaded with the funeral home director to find the priest that married us, did our engagement encounter, and baptized our daughter. And they found him, and he stopped everything and came.
Yeah.
And did. But I have no memory.
Yeah.
Of it.
So Janice, hold on. Let me jump in. Is there a question for us today? Like you've been in therapy for a long time, but there's these memories that are really still painful, and it sounds like they're still active. Is there a question that we can help you with here today?
Well, I don't usually listen to your station this time of the day.
Yeah.
It was only because I went to pick my vehicle up from an oil change appointment that I stumbled across, because I always have Sirius 131 on, and I was listening to your broadcast, and our clinical counseling sessions, they talked the first time after 4 couple counseling sessions my husband and I have had throughout the years was emotional bank accounts.
Yeah. So Janice, I hate to jump in here, but because we got to get to a question because we're coming up against a break. So something that we could help you with.
Well, definitely, I'd like to sign up for the December 2nd.
Oh, we'd love to have you for that. Yes.
It seems like that would be a good fit for you, because I wonder, Janice, if part of the struggle, part of why you're calling, is because you just can't shake these memories. They just keep coming back up, keep coming back at you. And the Emotional Freedom Workshop will be a great place to walk through some of the ways in which you can manage and deal with those things.
And Janice, sometimes we have to add a new element. When you've been doing therapy for such a long time, but you need to get to that next level, a weekend workshop, and especially the group work that happens there, it can take you to a breakthrough in your mental health.
Yes. So Janice, here's what we're going to do. We're going to send you a copy of the Emotional Freedom Workbook that will really help you set up really well for that. If you go online to www.newlife.com or call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE, we can get you signed up for that right away. And really, Janice, I want to commend you for the work that you've already done and the persistent work that you're doing in the face of the pain that you're encountering. We commend you for that. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn from New Life Live, and Chris Williams and I are doing the Emotional Freedom Workshop. A lot of people are you could literally say, in bondage from past trauma that has created an emotional web that they don't understand, and it prevents them from being free. A person that loses their temper regularly is not emotionally free. Someone who has anxiety just to get in the car and leave the house is not emotionally free. And walking around with the shame from a childhood or even a bad relationship as an adult, that is not emotional freedom, and we can help you get there.
The New Life Emotional Freedom Online Workshop is Saturday, December 2nd. Steve Arterburn, Chris Williams, and Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris will present information on the power of our emotions, procrastination, guilt and shame, and more. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or register online at newlife.com.
I have given to New Life regularly because I have so many people that I am referring to New Life who so benefit from the ministry. I just can't imagine what would happen in my area if New Life wasn't available to us.
You can help New Life Live stay on the air by joining Club New Life today. When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, we'll send you the new member thank you gift of all 8 100-day devotionals, including 100 Days of Prayer, 100 Days of Freedom from Depression, and 100 Days of Peace. There are also ongoing benefits like the monthly Club New Life CD or download, access to the Club New Life video library, quarterly resources, free shipping on purchased resources, discounts on workshops, and quarterly online meetings with Steve. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Support Club New Life, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. I want to mention something else that we have coming up on January 27th, and I think this is really good timing because you're not going to have pressures for the holidays and our diet and food intake during that time. So this is helpful for me. But on January 27th, online, again, one day, we're going to have the Lose It for Life conference and workshop. So that Lose It for Life workshop, I have a quick testimony. I was talking to a caller, this is a few years back, and asking them what their experience was like at the Lose It for Life. And here's what they said. They said, I just didn't learn how to lose some excess and unwanted weight on my body. I also learned how to lose excessive and unwanted weight on my soul. And I want that to sit just for a little bit. When we address these issues in our life, it's not just about the behaviors. It's about the condition of our heart and our soul underneath it that drive the behavior. And so I just want you to know that, like, again, it's a no shame zone. Great accepting, great information, very powerful groups. But if your weight and your food, and that's just been a struggle in your life, it's been a struggle in my life, by the way, January 27th online, sign up for that today. So that's something to be definitely looking forward to. We're going to go right back to the phone. We're going to go to Rachel in Dallas, Texas, listening on the app. Rachel, are you there?
Hi, dear.
Hi. How's it going?
It's going fine. How are you?
I'm good. So tell us what's up.
So my question is, I'm just going to try to make it short.
Awesome.
And so then if you guys have questions, then you can ask me. I have a 22-year-old daughter with her 3-year-old daughter who lives with us, and us is my husband and our 17-year-old son, and we live in our home. And I keep house, like, I like it orderly, I like it neat, picked up, clean, all the things, to the best that I can, to my ability, on the given day. And she prefers to keep house differently. And she tries, you can tell she tries to meet my expectations, but it seems like a burden to her. And when I ask her to pick up, it's, okay, I'll get to it. So we did have a conversation a while back. Hey, how can I ask you so that there's not offense? And her answer was, ask me what my plan of action is for this ex. And so that's how my husband and I go about that. And there's still angst there from her, even when we ask that. So my question is, how can I allow her to know that she, as a person, as a mother, as who she is, more valuable than the mess? Because I think that's what she's taking on, that my mom cares more about the mess instead of me, or more about her clean house instead of me.
Jacqui, what do you think? I'm like, this might this might be a lived experience, right, Jacqui?
Trying not to be triggered. Yeah, it actually is. So I just say it. Just say, I care more about you than I do the mess, but this is how I like to live. And when she gets angsty when you ask, hey, what's the plan for this? Which I love that you shared that, because that was my daughter's response to me too. Can you just ask me if I had a plan? Because I had a plan and you just came in, because I just will go in and clean it up because I want it the way I want it. But that made me take a step back. She's thinking about it, processing where things are going to go and how she's going to navigate it. It's not the space she's used to being in. She's used to being in her own house, and our situation is different. They're military, and so they're between deployments. And so we have a lot, and she has 2 older kids. So I would say, first of all, you've respected that request, and that's how you guys approach it. Get okay with her angsty response. You're not doing anything wrong by making that request. You're making it the way she's asked, so you're respecting her wishes, and hopefully she hears the request and then actually moves on it. And if that's the case, it's like I used to tell my husband, I don't really care if they're rolling their eyes and frowning while they're washing the dishes. They're washing the dishes. I don't want to wash them either. And so I would have an attitude too. So I'm not going to react to the attitude. That is just that person's emotional response to something they don't really feel like hearing or doing right now. But they know the other person's asking it, and they're going to respectfully go do the thing. Their attitude about it is theirs to deal with, not mine to deal with. So I understand that I handle emotion much differently than a lot of people do. So it's going to take some getting okay with her not being happy about this.
Yeah.
Right. If there's any part of you that just really works hard to make people happy and please them, it might be hard to feel like you're not getting that part right with her. But just directly say to her, I love you, right? You are more important to me than these things. And once she says, yes, Mom, I know that, then you'll have that relief.
And sometimes I as well, Jacqui, I am like, I'll take 15 minutes, 10 minutes or whatever. Like, this is what I need in my home. I need this. So if I have the 10 or 15 minutes, I'll scoop. I set it in front of her door and her daughter's door. And then I'm like, okay. But so there is that solace for me. Like, okay, I need this. Yeah. She needs this. And that's okay that she needs this. Like, I want to respect her because she does pay rent here. And she's like, I pay rent here, Mom. I should be able to. And I'm like, you don't pay rent for the whole house, sweetheart. Yeah. You pay rent for your room and your daughter's room. And so it's just an ongoing.
It's common area. It's the common areas that, even though you pay rent, the common areas have to always be clean because we all share those areas. What happens behind the closed door in your bedroom?
I don't fuss about that.
Is up to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rachel, your radar might be pinging because perhaps your request, she receives them maybe as a critique. And I wonder if it hits some other shame that she has. She probably didn't plan to be living with you with a 3-year-old daughter. She probably didn't think her life was going to look like this. And so that mother's radar that you have that wonders, what's going on in my daughter that she's reacting like this? It might also be good at a time when it's not happening right then, a time of some peace between the two of you, to invite her to tell you how she's feeling about how life is going, and how your requests affect her. And I would have you listen in the comfort circle style from Mylan and Kay's book, How We Love, where your purpose is to just be an active listener to her, to understand how she's feeling about herself and her life.
Yeah.
That will require you to hold your own reactions, because sometimes there'll be a critique of you, but it's a beautiful thing when you get through that comfort circle and they know they've been heard by you and understood by you. It makes it easier for them to reflect on your experience too. I had a student interviewee yesterday say that she came to the place where she realized her mom is living life for the first time too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I heard that the other day on this. So Alice, you said, how are you feeling about life? And what was your other question in the comfort circle?
And
how are you feeling about life?
You would ask her, Rachel, how are my requests affecting you? How do you feel when I ask you about cleaning up the house?
Yeah.
Affecting. Okay, I like that.
Well, in one of the things, because we're going to send you a copy of How We Love, because I think they'll be really helpful, because that will show you how to do the comfort circle in that. But one of the things that, the way I like to say this, is be careful of writing bad stories in blank spaces, right? When we're interpreting other people's behaviors, we don't know, we're guessing. We think we know, but no, we're guessing. We're writing bad stories in blank spaces. And so what the comfort circle allows us to do is like, no, this isn't my story, this is their story. I just want to hear what it is. I don't have to agree with it, I don't even have to like it, but I do want to understand it, so that we know that we're relating to each other in a basis of reality of our experiences. And
it could get her to thinking about some things that might unburden her, and so that she may be able to notice some of those things a little more. So I love that idea.
Yeah. So, Rachel, thank you so much. And this is really important because, Rachel, you're bringing up something of like the messiness of family and the messiness of doing life with adult children. In fact, I'm going to do a Steve Arterburn thing, and I'm going to send you 2 books. We're going to send you How We Love, and we're going to send you Jim Burns' book, Doing Life with Our Adult Children. And so hopefully both of those will be really, really helpful for you. Thank you for calling in today. And I just want to mention that, again, any gift of any amount here in the month of November, and we will send you a copy of Henry Cloud's book, Trust. Again, I can praise this book up one way, down the other. It's been such a game changer for me. The other thing I want to mention is that New Life has a national network of counselors and coaches. If you heard something on the radio today and you're like, oh man, I am really struggling with that, I need help with that. Maybe you heard Lance and him working through his grief. We have the resources for you. We have books, we have workshops, and we also have live people that can help you out. Use us, please. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We'll be right back.
We all face days where life throws us a curveball and our routines or plans get disrupted. Things we wanted to do are forced to take a backseat to the unexpected demands of the day. If you normally listen to New Life Live on a radio station, well, you might not be able to that day. And on these hectic days when you're feeling stressed or frazzled, hearing the sound of counsel given on New Life Live is just what you need to navigate the unexpected things of life.
Every time I'm troubled or I have a problem, I'll cut on New Life, and there's always something that is said that is helpful to me.
By listening, I have learned more than I can ever express about how God wants me to live.
Download the New Life app for the easiest way to listen wherever you are and at a time that's convenient for you, or watch the show on our YouTube channel. You can even subscribe to our podcast from your favorite podcast provider. You never have to miss a day of New Life. Wherever you are, we are.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn, and for over 34 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
I'm an addict, and I'm trying to get God in my life again.
Our Christ-centered treatment programs can help you break free to embrace all that God has for your life and your family.
I just want to thank you guys for bringing me to a relationship with Jesus.
There really is help for marital problems, depression, addictions, panic attacks, and feelings of hopelessness.
I came back with so many tools to help me prepare myself to fight this struggle and this battle that I have every day.
You can start living again today, living the life God intended for you. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
They did care, and they did follow up very lovingly, and it made all the difference in my life.
Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Someone who cares is waiting at the other end of the phone. God can open the door to a better tomorrow. Call 1-800-639-5433.
To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. So glad you're joining us today. Black Friday. I don't know if you're out shopping. I don't know if you're recovering or in a tryptophan comatose from all that turkey yesterday, but very glad that you're joining us today, listening in. And we're going to go to one final caller. We're going to go to Brianna in Detroit, Michigan, listening on YouTube. Brianna, you're there.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Well, talk to us. What's going on?
I really just want to get straight to the point because I've been really hurting really bad. And I want to ask how I can not just forgive my mom and dad for what they've done to me and let me go through, but continue to forgive them because it's not something that, like, I want to be able to move on and heal because they physically have abused me and neglected me emotionally, and they continue to do it to this day, to the point where my children witnessed my mom pulling my hair out of my head for no good reason.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, and I need out. I need help.
Yeah, for sure. Brianna, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
25.
Say that again?
25 years old.
25. Okay. Yeah.
And your question is, how do I forgive my parents and continue to keep forgiving them? Because every time you are triggered or have a memory, it's going to keep coming back up. But is the continue to keep forgiving them also an indication that you'll continue to be subjected to the abuse?
That's what I want to be able to heal, like move past from, because I know I can't. That's another thing I need help with, is because, like, I can forgive them, but I don't know how to, like, I can't change them.
For sure.
How do I change me in my circumstances to where, like, every time I feel like I'm around them, I feel like I don't feel safe. And then I also don't feel like I have anywhere else. I don't feel like I have anywhere to go.
Yeah.
You don't live with them, right?
I don't live with them. I live with my 2 girls and my 2 cats, and we stay in a mobile home that my mother owns.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Alice, what do you have?
Brianna, this is going to be really difficult to hear, but you know you're not at a safe enough distance from them yet because they are still perpetrating abuse. And what a difficult thing, given that you live in a home that they own, and so you're somewhat dependent on them. But I think that forgiveness is a secondary question that comes after establishing safety for yourself. How do you emotionally react hearing that from me? I think your head knows that, but I think that's a struggle for your heart to accept.
It's hard because I feel trapped.
Yes.
I feel very trapped.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know what to say because I don't know what to do, or that's why I'm calling in. Is how do I get myself out? I feel like the way I got a hold of the way I'm here now is through the movie Mercy. The Mercy Me movie. I Can Only Imagine.
Yeah.
And my mom took me to see Mercy Me, Toby Mac, Zach Williams this weekend. So she expects things to just magically be okay, and then I feel safe in that moment.
So Brianna, yes. This is what abusers do. They start with some zero, meaning like no love, no support, no care. Then they give you a little bit, and you mistake that little bit for it all. And so you're getting love at a 1, rarely, but you're getting mostly zeros. and I would say less than 0, because you're getting hurt. It's, as we're saying, as you're telling us, you cannot, it's darn near impossible, okay? Like if someone's punching me in the nose and I have a broken nose, and I'll say, well, I just need to forgive them. That doesn't stop the pain, and it doesn't stop the source of the pain, right? And so what Alice is saying is like we've got to find ways to stop the source of the pain. And let me start with something that sounds really harsh. These people who hold the title of mom and dad were never intended to hold the position of mom or dad. You've lost the mom and dad that you were supposed to have. And these people who hold this title, they have no right to that title because they cannot fulfill it. And so what I would encourage you to do is I would encourage you to get into as many resources as possible, you know, in and near in Detroit, in Michigan, the churches in the area, but also if you go to a battered woman's shelter, they will take you in. And you're like, well, it's not my husband. It doesn't have to be your husband. It could be anyone. But you and your children need to get safe to begin that healing process.
You can't keep subjecting yourself or your children to the abuse of your parents. If you weren't safe and haven't been in 25 years with the people who should have kept you safe, they're not going to protect you now at 25, and your children will end up going through the same thing with these grandparents. And unfortunately, sometimes when we've been abused, then we become abusive. That old saying, hurt people. It would really be beneficial for you to get into some therapy, and you probably have complex trauma and have lots of work to do, especially with the trauma continuing. The forgiveness piece, it is something that you will have to forgive over and over and over again, but right now you have to get safe. How do you feel when Chris said that you might need to go to a battered woman's shelter? Have you ever considered that?
Absolutely, and I've been calling, and there's nowhere to go. Like, I mean, I almost just, I haven't like given up, but like I ended up finding a church nearby that, I'm slowly starting to like tell them what's going on, because, we only have so much time every week, but I have phone numbers of people I can reach out to, and I'm supposed to be going to a parenting group tonight. Good. Where they have like a teacher set up for the girls. So like I feel like I'm starting to like feel like I have safe people to reach out to, 'cause through like I'm in therapy. I've been going to secular therapy for a very long time, and I mean since I was like in first grade. Yeah. Like what does it serve for somebody to go to therapy from the ages of first grade, in first grade, and if it hasn't even done anything for them, and it's still happening over and over again. So I've told my mom, and my dad doesn't believe me that she's even put her hands on me. Well,
Brianna, again, we cannot heal from the current pain that is happening over and over again.
So there's 2 steps to take about the counseling that you're receiving. I want you in your next session to let your counselor know I need to get safe and I need help in doing so because I don't have access to safety yet. And if that therapist cannot help you with that, let us connect you with a coach, with a counselor in your area who can get those steps moving, because that's priority number 1 for you and your girls.
And Brianna, you're in a really, really tough situation. Our heart breaks for you. We want you to get safe. We want you to get healthy. We want you to get the love and support that you need and deserve. I'm really encouraged that you're seeking out the resources around you. Keep doing that. We're going to send you a copy of the Emotional Freedom Workbook. We're also going to send you a copy of Henry Cloud's book, Trust. I think both of those will be really, really helpful. Thank you so much for calling in today. Thank you all for being with us, and we wish you a wonderful, wonderful Black Friday and weekend.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433, or write to us at New Life Ministries, P.O. Box 1029, Lake Forest, California, 92609. Please join us again on Monday for New Life Live.
Hi, thank you for watching New Life Live. You know, New Life Live is a Christian counseling program where we deal with the hard questions about life, relationships, kids, free choice, freedom of will, whatever. It's all right there on New Life Live every day, every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. If you want to call into the live broadcast, you can find the schedule on newlife.com or click the social media link right below. You can see every episode of New Life Live on the New Life YouTube channel. Watch it with a friend, watch it later. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you'll never miss another episode. So if you want to listen on the go, download the app. The link is right below. And I hope if you need some information, if you want to get some help, you'll call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. And I'll see you next time.